Okay, for Toyota, they have a lot of issue with like this broken bolt like this, because their castle nuts kind of like locking in and freeze it. So when you take it out, they tend to broke like that. A lot of time, this thread here is not even, and make sure you clean it. Make sure you clean it so you don't have issue again. Using a 10 millimeter, okay, we'll show you. This is a 10 by 1.25.
I try it, but it's too hard, and I think it seized in there. So I'm gonna burn it to heat up to see if I can lose some.
This is a very good tool to remove anything broken. I bought very cheap. Hopefully not broke. It doesn't go anywhere. I think it's broke. I have to drill out. See that? No good. This kind of job, you make sure check your ring seal, because expensive job, you know. Even though you don't change the inside here, that's okay. Normally Toyota don't leak. You could change in the gasket behind this right here, but at this right here, you can see it really clean, and you don't really have to mess with the back here. But the seal here, you have to change in it, because you can see that this is old seal, and you don't know how many miles the engine have already. And normally, if over 100,000 miles, Toyota is still good. Toyota is still good, but recommend it changing this seal here, and don't keep the old seal, because they are not cheap job to changing this seal here. Recommended you have this type of tool to taking the seal. If you don't have this tool, don't worry, use screwdriver, pry it out, they come out. In case you want part number, that is the part number right here or right there. That's the part number from Toyota. Prefer to buy Toyota for it, because you don't want to get a aftermarket that it look just like it but off a little tiny bit. Okay, expensive job, get a good stuff. Don't just get a cheap stuff from the auto part. I see in the past couple car that put an aftermarket cheap stuff, this thing pop out and cost a lot of money just to get to this bad boy here.
Okay, today finally putting this engine back in there. Now do a caution that when I took the engine out, I took with the torque converter, right? But the question is, can you put the torque converter and engine into the transmission? Can you do that? No, you cannot do that. Why I say that? Because I'm not sure my camera can see it. The way the torque converter go is that, show you, the torque converter have to sit all the way back. You see how deep the torque converter go to the inside of the transmission is. And not just that, torque converter cannot just slide in, okay, because you have a couple of stages that you have to turn around, spin around, and make sure the torque converter sit all the way back. And when you have that in the engine, you cannot do that. Even though when you put this torque converter back into the transmission, still not easy. Sometimes you have to play around, you know, lift the torque converter a little bit and turn it, you know, left to right, and make sure it clunk all the way back. So that make the torque converter sit back far, so that will not leaking. Okay, normally to put it in, you just revert from what you take them out, but I will show you sometime it's hard to put it in to fit to your transmission, because sometimes you have to play around with adjustable crane up there, make yourself tilt the engine back and forth easier, you know, like left to right. And I also tied up the front here so I can crank the front to make it adjustable, the back lower and the front higher. So you have to do that by yourself. If you have more than one person, yeah, one guy lift for you, and then you can, you know, push the engine in. But if you by yourself, like myself, then you have to use some other strap or a crane like that, so you can turn the engine around. Okay, so I took the oil filter out because I want more room. It's not a big deal that you can't do without the oil filter. You know, it's oil filter, so I just took them out and put my glove on it. So that made the more room in the front here. So let me push my engine a little bit on the other side. Okay. Number one is take your time. Don't rushing. Okay, when you're rushing, you drop too fast. Thing that you can't see it, you damage. Okay, it doesn't matter a rear wheel drive like this or a sideways engine. It's the same thing. Just be patient. It dropped all the way, almost all the way. So I had to slide my engine a little bit to the right side. Then I can drop more. At this point here, you have to watch out for the AC compressor. Okay, and check it down to see it's a level or not. Okay, if it's not one side higher than the other, then you just adjusting this right here. Okay, now I have to go in the back to see my transmission is how far my transmission and the engine. From here you can push down your transmission harness to the back, so you don't have to strangle this thing up here forever. Okay, from here you can see that my transmission is a little bit higher than the engine, even though the engine is still very high from the motor mount up there. So that means I have to lower my jack here more, so I will get that evenly. Because it's too high, then you cannot fit it. Okay, as you can see that the engine and transmission, the bolts all are lined up right now. So what I have to do is try to find a longer bolt and make sure they fit it in. Okay, I recommend it. This is the original bolt. Okay, this is the original bolt, and that's a 14, that's a 17. So get it longer like that. Okay, and the two bottom is longer like that too, so they will fit it in without tightening, so you can align all the bolts straight to it, and then you can slide the engine into the transmission. That make your job a lot easier. Okay, make sure that this to the engine and transmission, they align straight. The engine cannot be tilted or transmission cannot be tilted. If you're tilted, then you can't fit your bolt into it. Okay, put the 114 down here and put the 17 up the top, so you just slide the transmission into the engine. Okay, so go like that. Right now you can tell that the engine is a lot higher than the transmission, so it won't fit because it does not balance enough. Okay, so what you have to do is drop the engine a little bit, or either the transmission a little bit. I will do is drop my transmission. Okay, I'll drop my transmission jack a little bit, so that will fit better. I mean, go up. So now it's easy in. So just push this in, so they will lock in each other. So when they lock each other, then you just slide your engine into the transmission. That you don't have to force it. Okay, so you do the 214 down here and then put a 217 on the side, so they will be balanced evenly. Now I put my 4 bolt into it. See the one right here, there's 2, and also the other side I have 2. Okay, and when you do 4 already, you can slowly, I'm not sure my camera will be able to record it, but we'll try my best. Okay, we'll try to see I can slide my engine into it. See that? All right, so it fit all the, not all the way, but it fit already. So what I do, I'm going to push some more. If you have another person outside, they can help you pushing. But if you don't, you can push from the inside here, or using your jack, everything that you can push. Okay. Now I can fit my shorter bolt, so that means it just need a little bit force, not too much. Just don't use any electric drill to helping you. But what you can do is you're using a hand tool to squeeze the engine into it a little bit. Okay, so that's how you do it. Use something short like this to bring it, because you know if it's too hard, then you know that it's not right. Okay, slowly crank like this, because when sometimes you're pushing, it's not hard enough, so you have to using a screw to bring in, because if it's too tight, that means something wrong. Okay, so you don't force this. Make sure it's freely. Before you're forcing down your transmission and engine together, make sure you can turn like this first. Okay, if you cannot turn, that means something wrong in the torque converter and engine. So slowly turn, and then go inside the back of your engine. Try to slowly tighten down all your bolt by hand. Don't use any gun to torque it. Okay, because in case you use your gun too fast, and then you closing down the torque converter, and the flex plate not engages, because inside here your torque converter is supposed to be set inside this hole right here. Okay, if your torque converter doesn't sit in there, and then was sitting somewhere right here, then you damage your torque converter. Okay, you see it? Almost tied it up, and your torque converter may not sit all the way yet. Slowly bring it in. Okay, and then you can go do it side by side, and also turn the front to see if you can still turning. If you turn the crank and it's smoothly, that means you're safe to go. I can see that all my bolt is not all tied it up, but I tight couple. And let's go crank to see. I still be able to crank it. See that? See? I still crank it freely. So that means good. So at this point here, you just tie all this bolt here back up, then that's it, because everything already set into the torque converter, and the flex plate already engaged, so you're safe to
tied it up. Okay, so at this point here, very easy. You just drop the engine into the motor mount. You see that? It's ready to drop it in. See? So at this point here, very easy. Just make sure you push your engine into the motor mount and slides in. That's all. Okay. Okay. I just drop my engine to sit on, and that's it. Because my transmission and engine is engaged already. And this point here, I can take all this strap out. The only thing left is using this right here to align your bolt hole before you're taking this off. If you're taking this off, then in case the hole is not the forward bolt, that it's not straight into it, then you have to hook it up back up again. Okay, you see the bolts? See that hole right there? Not sure my camera can see it, but the hole already straight, so I just put my bolts in. That's it. Even though you don't have a torque, but you still need to tighten right here. I'm not sure how many foot-pound, but this 17 bolt with this length of extension, you have to put enough force to it. Okay, that's plenty already. And to get on the top, you have to get a long one like this. If you don't have a long one, you can do it, but it will be harder. Okay, so all the 17 bolt. Get this side. There's a 3 on this side and 3 on the other side on the 17 top. The bolt, you can start with the darker one. So there's the only one that is a little bit darker than the other. The other one is kind of gold and this one more black. So you start with the black one, and then you know that if you don't have enough or you're missing one or whatever, and those should be able to tell you that you finished or not. And you tied it, same thing, you know that that's the last one that you did already. Okay, for this bolt, you can do from the top, like when I took it out, I do from the top, or you can do from the bottom here. I think the bottom here is much easier than the top because you have more room in the back down here. Okay, today try to finish it. Been busy and haven't had time to finish this one right here. The only thing I have left is connecting the exhaust manifold, with the catalytic converter, alternator, and AC compressor, and also the power steering pump right here, and also radiator, oil, and cooling. Connecting my ECU, the harness to ECU, and all that stuff. So hopefully today is going to be done in a couple hours probably, but I will put some here and there because it's not very important to watching everything that I do it again, because it's just the same thing when they're taking out. Is I already had that, but sometimes you forgot which wire, which harness go to where, so that's why you want to watching this right here. But other than that, I will not going to be so detailed on it, because it's not like when you're taking out. When you're taking out, it's the most important to save your time and money, because you don't want to take so many things out, and you will do take things that necessary only to save your time on that. Okay.
sa cho con một nòng ngày giang ai chi nó mong lòng chỉ qua gió tua con chuyện gì ấy cứ nó luôn dưng gì vì làm chi aku chỉ sắp phải được gì oh my god baby cô nhẹ nhẹ có
Right now is pretty steady. The car is at normal temperature right now. That's why you don't hear much about the engines running. So the engines run pretty quiet. Okay, it's a low idle. That's why it's quiet like right now. And make sure this is the manual. Heater valve, so you have to put on heat so it will flow your coolant to the what do you call it? The heater core. Otherwise you will have some air trapped in down the heater core. Okay, the RPM is very low, and I believe that the body throttle is very dirty, so it's too low. So I have to clean it to get it up to maybe 7,000 or 8,000. Right now it'll probably below 5,000, 500. Okay, so your RPM should be at about 700 or 800. You see how dirty my carb is. So you have to clean that to get it idle higher using some part cleaner with a claw like this. Okay. Put your hand through here. Super dirty. I don't think they ever cleaned this right here. Okay, so I can use my hand. You can take the whole body throttle out and do it, or you just clean this butterfly here, and that should be taking care of it too. Okay, right now the idle even better. The car is not even have any vibration at all. Okay, so like normally this would be vibrate, you know, shaking like that, but super steady. And let's go check the idle from the inside of the car to see how the RPM is. Right now it's about 800, 700 or 800 right now. Okay, so which is very good idling. And temperature is not go up yet, so I will put the hood on, taking for a spin. But at this point here, there's no point for me to show you guys no more, because it's something that you if you have a similar problem like low idle like this, make sure you clean your body throttle. You know, I should clean it while when I'm doing the body throttle swap, so you won't have this kind of problem. But hey, thing you can forget, you know. But if you have a similar problem like that, just clean your body throttle and you should be good to go. If you like this kind of video, I know I'm going to have some more engine coming up, but getting old and take a lot of time, because the engine like this when I was younger, 2 days, 1 day out, 1 day in, 2 days, that's it. But since I'm getting old, you know that this video I've been changing so many shirts because taking a lot of my time, because I have to do some other thing too. And not just that, when you get old, you see engine removing and installation, you're just like, when I'm gonna get it done, you know. So that's pretty much about it. All right, thank you for watching. Please help me subscribe, and we'll see you guys next video. Bye bye now.